Hello everyone, this is Denise McGill again with another tutorial. This time I'm doing a really quick one. It's just finishing up and correcting some things on a collage. Here's a few of my collages that I've done in the past for Denise's dancing paintbrush. Here's the photo that I used. I took these pictures myself and then composited them for reference, and you can see I even added some color tones. Here's the picture. I felt the background was just not right, too dark and similar in value to the rest of the Agave cactus. So I had to lighten it up. So I pulled out some lighter tan colors and I tear them. I'm working on a piece of paper that is about 18 by 24 inches. It's a heavyweight drawing paper, about 80-pound drawing paper. And I'm using rubber cement to cement my pieces of torn calendar and magazine photos and anything that has a nice shiny surface works really well for me. I like the calendars. They're good and a heavyweight paper. And I like to work with the National Geographic. It has some lovely, deep, rich photo colors. So you can see I'm covering up the darker tan. It looked like the right color for sand, but in the end it looked too dark, made everything too dark. So I'm not covering up everything. I still want brown shadows underneath my cactus there. I'm trying to make the highlights pop by taking down the color of the sand so it's less interruptive. Now here I added a face. It's the right value. It looked pretty good. But when you stand back, that face grabs your eye. And though sometimes I add faces and they look good, this time not quite right, and later I'll change it. So I'm adding some more blues to my cactus leaves. Sometimes when I'm finished with a piece, I'll cover it with Mod Podge or spray it with a fixative. And sometimes I'll leave it as it is and frame it behind glass. That works real well. This is a long, drawn-out process, as you can see, searching for just the right picture, just the right tone that you're looking for, and then gluing them down, tearing them to just the right size, or cutting them. You see, this time I needed a jagged edge on this leaf, so I had to cut it to make my little thorns, and then glue them all down. It's inch meal work. And sometimes the pieces are so small I have to use a pair of tweezers to put them down. I love the difficulty level with this kind of artwork because, well, you cannot get soft edges. Even with torn paper, the edges are going to be hard and obvious. So there's no blending colors. You have to get just the right tones to make it appear to be blended. And yet when you stand back with it looking almost abstract, it all blends together visually and looks intriguing. It's a challenge, and I love a good challenge. Now you can see I've decided to pull out some words. I have a whole little file with words, just words I've pulled off of magazines that I might be able to use sometime that are interesting. And I sort through them and look for the right color tones, but also something that will fit the image or the message I'm trying to say. I think adding words is pretty cool because in your average painting you can't just draw words. I suppose you could, but it looks obvious. In a collage, it looks like the words were meant to be there because they're pieces of magazines. So I add them as a message purposefully. I'm sticking the rest back in my little file and then looking around for just the right place for these words. Some of them fit, like that one, the blue's perfect. And some of them don't. And I'll throw them back in the file, maybe use them for something else. I love that one rough there on the right-hand side. It fit so perfectly. It was just the right color. Little bottle of hot sauce kind of works too. It gives it a southwestern feel. And then I pull out a bunch of images, just adding interesting images. There's a bushel of apples there at the bottom I just put in. Yeah. And this green piece of fruit, what is that, a mango? It works for me. And an ear of corn. Looks like just the right green. Little brown portrait that fits down there in the corner. That fits. See, now that face isn't too obtrusive. And then there are pieces like this one. I never find a place to put it, and I end up putting it back in my file. A little old man, that fits right there. And this is where I've decided it's time to cover up that face. She's just grabbing my attention too much, so I put a little bird over her. There, that fits much better. And then I stand back and I look at it and decide what else does it need? I really love the orange down there on the bottom left, and I think it needs more orange. So I've pulled out a bunch of orange pieces. That orange chair fits in the background better than it fits on that leaf. There's an orange, that works. See, that's too big. I'm going to have to cut it. There we go. Much better. It needed that touch of orange. And the onion. And here it is, the finished collage. I've decided that works for me. And when you get up close, you see all the different pieces and all the different words. And then when you pull back, it all blends together visually to make an overall picture. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate people tuning in, and I hope you subscribe if you'd like to see more. I'll be back with more, so do come again.